Hello, everyone. My name is Phyllis Shelton, and I want to thank all of you who have responded so quickly to the call of action that Susie Orman put in her blog today as to how important it is to plan for long-term care, and especially for women, and especially for single women. And there are so many of us in the world, in this country, who have precious children that we care about, spouses that we care about, family that we care about, and we really don't want to be a burden. We want to be independent, and we want to maintain our quality of life as we age. And that's what we're all about right here at GOT LTCI. So we've had quite the response, and they're still coming in. And I'm thrilled because my mission and my ministry is to help people plan for long-term care. So I just thank you in advance for your patience as we handle everyone, because I want you to have individual, customized attention. We are not a quote shop. We work with every family, and we find out what your needs are. Are you a candidate for traditional long-term care insurance? Do you want something with a death benefit or an annuity benefit? So we want to work with you, all right? So let me take just a couple of minutes here and give you a little bit of education, just like I would if it were you and me sitting here in this conference room. And after that, I'm going to ask you to go to the link in this email, the other one, and sign up for a time slot on the calendar that we've created just for you. And when you do that, you'll be able to meet with me or one of my wonderful qualified partners to take you through a personal consultation, learn a little more about you, make some recommendations on what could work for you to meet your goals. So let's do the education first, and then I'll come back to that customization process a little bit, shall we? Okay, the first thing, let's talk about what long-term care really means in the context of what we're talking about. And by the way, I have a little book, you can kind of see it over my shoulder here, it's on my website, called The ABCs of Long-Term Care Insurance. It's kind of a Cliff Notes. So I'm going to be giving you just a little synopsis of that. And then I have my big book, if you want to read 300 pages, and it is in large print, East Tennessee vocabulary, and lots of pictures. My children are four-legged, and my pictures of those children are in that book, so you don't want to miss that. And then here's Susie's book, The Money Class, and you can get that on my website, and I'd say that many of you already have it. And this story kind of began because with working with you directly back in 2011, when Susie put me in the Money Class book as someone to work with if you did not have a knowledgeable professional about long-term care insurance. But the story with Susie goes all the way back to 1994, and that's when she and I met a couple of weeks before her first book was coming out. And she told me then what a passion that she had to help Americans plan for financial security, and her passion has not wavered. Instead, it has grown and grown and grown, as many of you know that has followed her all these years. So she and I go back a long way. She trusts me, and she knows that I will tell people straight if I can help them or if I can't, and that when I give them recommendations, it's because I really believe that's the right thing for them. And I'm not thinking about how much money I'm going to make or somebody else is going to make. I'm really thinking about what's best for this family. I've never had a complaint, and I sure don't want any of you to be the first. And one reason, I believe, is because I look so hard at future cost, and I help families plan so that they won't be disappointed when they have a claim. And I've been at this a while. I've been at this since 1988 for long-term care insurance specifically. So I've got people using these policies. And I know you read the newspapers about how some of the claims don't get paid and all that. And I can tell you, for the most part, the companies are doing a fantastic job. And even a couple of companies that have had issues, they're trying their best. They have new management teams. They're trying to clean up everything and make it work just right. So we're all here, our whole long-term care insurance industry, to serve you the families in our country and to help you as best we can. So let's look at a little bit of education. A couple of minutes, okay? Let's go back to the definition of long-term care. This is not a broken hip, guys. This is, you could be expected to need help physically or mentally. If it's physical, you're expected to need help with at least 2 of the basic activities of daily living for at least 90 days. So let's think. Bathing, dressing, transferring, which just means moving from that chair to that chair, toileting, continence, and eating. It's usually bathing and dressing that people need help with first, and not too long after that, transferring. But the key is you have to be expected to need help at least 90 days. Not a broken hip, broken arm, or a broken leg, but you could be hit by a drunk driver and break both your legs and your hip and need care for 6 or 7 months and get well. That's still a long-term care insurance claim with traditional products and a lot of the combo products. Or you could have a brain tumor, or you could have a stroke. 1 out of 3 people who have a stroke bad enough to go to the hospital is under 65 years old. That's on the Centers for Disease Control website. What's my point? This is something that could happen anytime. Motorcycle wrecks. Think about it. You could be fixing your roof and fall off. That happened to a friend of mine's husband. So many issues can happen to people in their younger years. So we're not talking about something that just when you're 80 or 90 years old. Our neighbor passed away recently with ALS at age 55. She was fine at 50. So you just never know. Life has no guarantees. And the other way you can get a claim paid is if you are severely cognitively impaired. Well, we think of Alzheimer's, don't we? However, it could be a brain tumor. It could be maybe something from another illness or injury, accident, head injury, any reason. The fact is that you cannot be left alone because you are cognitively impaired, and sometimes people have a mixture of these things, right? So that's the definition. The other thing I want to share with you, and there's about 6 points here, is that the good news is that less than 15% of the people who need this kind of care are in a nursing home. Isn't that good news? Most of the claims happen at home, and a growing number happens in these country club assisted living facilities. I bet you've seen some of those. And the people in nursing homes, non-ambulatory comes to mind, off their feet. They need a lot of care to be maintained. But these assisted living facilities can even take care of dementia patients. They may be in a separate section and you may have to pay more, but they can do so much. And think about it. These places cook for you, clean for you, do your laundry, and there's no yard work. And couples can move in together, and they don't charge you double for the second person. They'll charge extra, but not necessarily double. So that's a huge, huge benefit for many people. Also, the home care could be in conjunction with adult daycare. I had a client who took his wife to adult daycare every day for about 2 years before she needed to be in a facility, and that way he could continue to play golf every day and he didn't miss a beat. And then when she needed to be in a facility, she could go to the nicest one in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And people said to him, "How can you afford this kind of care for Helen?" And he said, "Well, I can afford it because years and years ago, this woman named Phyllis Shelton came to our house and sold us these long-term care insurance policies." And he said something that I'll never forget. He said, it's not my money that's the most important thing to me. My wife is my most precious asset. And the fact that I can take care of her like this means more to me than any amount of money I could ever have. And that beautiful story is on my GodLTCI.com website. It's the Vernon Duckett video. So you'll want to watch that. It's only 4 minutes long, but get out a tissue because it'll probably make you tear up. So let's see, going on with the education. Oh, this care is expensive, isn't it? And when we talk, we'll be talking with you about the cost of care in your area. And you noticed on the questionnaire, we ask you if you intend to stay there or if you're going to move elsewhere. So we kind of talk through that, and we look at the cost of care. And I'm going to tell you how I'm doing this stuff. Okay, if most people are never in a nursing home, and nursing homes, cost quite a bit more than assisted living facilities, why don't we plan more in the direction of assisted living facilities, but not your average? I'm talking country club assisted living facility, and let's try to fund that fully for you in the future. And then if we can fund that fully, I know it will buy a lot of home care, because the assisted living facility is growing more in the neighborhood of maybe 5% a year, and home care 2% or so. So whatever we have today, even a 50% home care benefit today, would pay a whole lot more in the future because home care is growing slower. So for example, if a nice assisted living facility in your area is $5,000 a month, at 5% compound, it's going to double every 15 years. So in 15 years it would cost $10,000. In 20 years it would cost, actually 30 years it would double again to more like $20,000 a month. So that would become our target, and then we would figure out how to make your benefits taking into account your own income and what you could pay, but to make sure that you can handle that comfortably. And then maybe if you do need nursing home care as a last resort, you fund that out of your own savings, okay? Your assets. Or the other way you can do it is if we have you in a long-term care partnership policy, you could possibly turn to your state for help if you needed to, and still get to protect your assets equal to the benefits paid out, as long as you meet the the physical or the cognitive criteria of your state to provide care for you under the Medicaid program. So those are the kinds of things we can talk about when we get together with you. And I guess the other thing I would mention is that the kind of care we're talking about is common. Have you ever thought about it? I mean, if you walked down your street and you knocked on every door and you said, "Have you ever had your house burned to the ground?" How many people are going to say yes? But if you said, "Do you have a caregiving situation in your family somewhere?" You're going to hear a lot of people saying yes, aren't you? Well, many years ago when I got started in long-term care insurance, back in 1988, 89, 90, people would say, "Oh, I don't need that insurance because my kids will take care of me." Well, guess what? The kids are who we talk to today, right? And y'all are saying, "Oh, I did take care of my mom or dad, and oh, we got a divorce," or "Oh, this is what it did to our life, and it took away my freedom, and now I can't spend time with my grandchildren," and on and on and on. But what are they saying? These adult caregivers are saying, "We're never doing this to our kids. Never, ever, ever." Because, people think of caregiving as, I'm going to give them a bowl of cereal. I'm going to tuck them in at night. Caregiving is bathing, dressing, all those things. And do you really want your children doing that, right? So, and then also just the strain. And some of these men, I still hear every now, "Oh, my wife will take care of me." I'm like, does she ever sleep? When's the last time she picked you up? So just got to get a grip on that situation, right? And if the man wants to take care of his wife, he gets long-term care insurance on himself because she is his caregiver, okay? And if statistics play out, he will need care first, and she'll wear herself out taking care of him, and they could use all their resources on his care, and then where is she going to be? And she lives another 10 years. So you see the issue, right? Yeah. So the kind of care we're talking about is pretty common. If you do get to age 65 and you haven't had a need yet, your chances could be, over 50% that you will. And the good news is probably won't be nursing home care, but very high odds you'll need some type of care. Home care, adult daycare, assisted living. And a word to the single women. And Susie alluded to that in her blog. We got to get a grip on this, ladies. If we're alone and we need help with bathing and dressing, and especially just getting around, how long are we going to stay home if we don't have a primary caregiver? Even if we could bring somebody in 12 hours a day, what are we going to do the other 12? So at some point, it's safer to be in one of these country club assisted living facilities. And you kind of get sometimes depressed being alone when we don't feel well. So, the new ones, you can take your pets. Oh, yes. In fact, my oldest child, Jackson, is right at my feet. He's my yellow lab. And if you've ever seen my book, you would see his picture. So pets, plants, they're a lot more beautiful and home-like than they used to be. So that's kind of the education. And then when we speak with you, we will figure out what is best for you. And in the marketplace, I'll tell you, most of the carriers are gender rated, so they do cost more for women. We still have a couple really strong that are not, that we can work with you on. And we'll just do everything we can to help you. And if you need to go in the direction of some other type of product combined with life insurance or annuities, we can discuss that with you and see if that's in your best interest. And sometimes people do both. So we will be glad to work with you. So I want you to hit that link, reserve your own time slot, and you'll be meeting with me or one of my wonderful qualified partners that I have worked with for many, many years, trained, and I trust them with my life. That's the kind of people they are, and you'll see their bios on this website as well. In fact, well, you know what? I'm not even going to spoil the surprise. I just want you to know that they are all so wonderful. Okay, so that's the message. Thank you for listening to this video, and most of all, congratulations on reading that blog and planning for long-term care, because this is going to bless not just you, but your family. It's just like that rock in the pond. It's a domino effect, and so many people, especially your children, if you have children, are going to be so grateful that you took this essential step in your financial planning. All right, talk to you later.